The hit TV series Fame, 1982 to 1987, brought music, dance, and drama to life, making stars out of its talented cast. But behind the bright lights, many of its beloved actors faced heartbreaking tragedies. In this video, we remember 40 Fame stars who have sadly passed away, honoring their lives, careers, and the legacies they left behind. Some were taken too soon, while others battled personal struggles that led to their untimely deaths. Join us as we pay tribute to these unforgettable performers and their lasting impact on the world of entertainment. Jean Anthony Ray, who portrayed the passionate and rebellious Leroy Johnson in Fame, began his role in 1982 at the age of 20. Leroy was a dancer with undeniable talent but struggled with his own personal demons, often clashing with authority while fiercely pursuing his art. Ray's real life mirrored Leroy's struggles as he faced addiction, emotional pain, and self-sabotage, all of which hindered his career. Despite his breakout role, Ray was unable to achieve the lasting success many predicted for him. His personal life was filled with turmoil, including strained relationships and financial struggles. He passed away on November 14, 2003, at the age of 41, due to complications from a stroke. His untimely death left many wondering what could have been, as his raw talent and potential were overshadowed by his personal battles that tragically defined his life.
And all my friends have seen it already and everything. I haven't even called and everything. I want it to be a big surprise when I get back. But it's hard to, I don't know what it feels. I mean, this is a feeling I never.
And Nelson, who played the warm-hearted and humorous Mrs. Berg in Fame, started her role in 1982 at the age of 66. Mrs. Berg, the school secretary, was known for her caring nature and sharp wit, providing a touch of humor and warmth to the show. However, Nelson's real-life story was filled with sadness and disappointment. She had been married twice, but both relationships ended in failure, leaving her with feelings of loneliness and abandonment. Though her on-screen presence was loving and supportive, Nelson's personal life was marked by isolation, particularly in her later years. Her relationships with her children were distant, and she struggled with feelings of unfulfilled connection. She passed away on August 4, 1992, at the age of 76 from a heart attack. Her death was a quiet one, but it underscored the contrast between her nurturing role on screen and the personal struggles she faced in her own life. A poignant reminder of the often hidden sorrows behind public personas.
Money is the pesky problem. I'm afraid it's gone again.
Gone? Are you sure you haven't just...
Albert Hague, known for his portrayal of the strict yet caring Mr. Swarovski in Fame, began his role in 1982 when he was 62 years old. The character of Mr. Swarovski was a dedicated music teacher who demanded excellence from his students while also showing them compassion and understanding. Off-screen, however, Hague's life was not as harmonious as his role suggested. Despite being a successful composer and respected educator, his personal life was filled with emotional distance and challenges. His marriage, while long-lasting, faced its difficulties, and his relationship with his children was often strained. Hague's emotional struggles, combined with a deep sense of isolation, overshadowed his professional successes. He passed away on November 12, 2001, at the age of 81 after battling cancer. His death, while marking the end of a celebrated career, also reflected a life filled with internal conflict and personal regret that never fully healed.
Take a shot of it. They needed me. I also never had a beard, by the way. And Alan Parker, who directed the original movie Fame, asked me if I would like to grow.
Ken Swofford, who played the strict but sometimes sympathetic Vice Principal Quentin Morlock in Fame, joined the cast in 1983 at the age of 50. Morlock was a character who enforced the rules with authority but also showed a softer side when it came to his students' personal challenges. Swofford's real-life struggles, however, were far more complex. He endured 2 failed marriages and faced significant emotional pain throughout his life. Depression and a sense of disconnection from both his family and career were constants that haunted him. Although he enjoyed a successful career in television, his personal life was often overshadowed by feelings of inadequacy and loneliness. He passed away on November 1, 2018, at the age of 85 from natural causes. His death marked the end of a long career but also highlighted the emotional turmoil and personal losses he quietly carried throughout his life.
To do.
Wait a minute. You're right. Trade places with Michael.
Wait a minute. When do I move up there?
Now. Do it now.
Carrie Hamilton portrayed Reggie Higgins in Fame in 1986 at the age of 23, bringing a bright and ambitious energy to the role of a young woman determined to succeed in the performing arts. Reggie was a vibrant character, filled with dreams of stardom and a drive to make her mark in the world. However, Carrie's personal life was far more troubled. The daughter of legendary comedian Carol Burnett, Carrie faced the pressure of living up to high expectations. She struggled with addiction and a series of tumultuous relationships, which took a toll on her mental health and career. Despite a promising start in acting, she found herself in roles that never fully captured her potential. Diagnosed with lung cancer in her 30s, Carrie fought bravely against the disease, but it eventually spread. She passed away on January 20, 2002, at the age of 38 from pneumonia as a complication of the cancer, leaving behind a career full of unrealized promise and a life cut tragically short.
Your mom is single again, your parents got divorced, and you're dating. I heard you double date?
Well, we have in the past.
So what's that like?
Graham Jarvis portrayed the kind-hearted and supportive Principal Bob Dyrenforth in Fame starting in 1986 at the age of 56. Bob was a fatherly figure to the students, always providing guidance and encouragement, often as a stabilizing force amidst the chaos of the performing arts school. However, Graham's own career was marked by unfulfilled potential. Despite his extensive experience in television and film, he was often relegated to supporting roles and never quite achieved the fame that many of his peers did. His personal life, though steady with a long marriage, lacked the excitement and recognition he may have hoped for in his professional life. As he aged, Graham faced the challenges of multiple myeloma, a form of cancer that slowly wore him down. His final years were quiet, and his death on April 16, 2003, at the age of 72 from complications related to the disease marked the end of a career that, though steady, never garnered the acclaim he deserved.
But the first thing you know, I'm jumping over the counter, I'm slipping it to her right there. You want to see a Big Mac? I'll show you. We are in a restaurant. Of course, it was all in my head. That's what happens to you when you hit 40.
Morgan Stevens joined Fame in 1982 at the age of 31, playing David Reardon, a passionate and devoted drama teacher who pushed his students to embrace their creativity and artistic potential. While his character was beloved by his students for his guidance and encouragement, Stevens faced a more turbulent reality. His career, though starting with promise, struggled to take off, and he found himself in roles that never quite matched the breakthrough he had hoped for. Off-screen, Stevens faced significant personal challenges, including a traumatic incident in 1989 where he was brutally beaten by police following a wrongful arrest, leaving him physically and emotionally scarred. Though he remained in the industry, the trauma and the subsequent challenges in his career took a toll on his personal life. Morgan Stevens passed away on January 26, 2022, at the age of 70, from arteriosclerosis cardiovascular disease.
The real world, what would happen to Bruno?
He'd be fired. Well, come on, Lydia, I can't do that. It'll kill the kid.
Wound him a little, maybe, but...
Dick Miller, who played Lou Mackey, the loyal and kind stage manager in Fame, began his role in 1984 at the age of 56. Lou was a background figure, always supportive of the students' creative endeavors and providing much-needed assistance behind the scenes. Dick, much like his character, was always present but never the star, spending decades in the film and television industry mostly in secondary roles. Despite a long career in film, Miller was never able to break into the limelight, and his personal life suffered from the instability of a career that often saw him cast in roles of little recognition. While he maintained a stable family life, financial struggles and the reality of being an uncelebrated actor weighed heavily on him. His later years were marred by health issues, and after suffering a heart attack, he passed away on January 30, 2019, at the age of 90. His death, largely unnoticed by the mainstream, marked the quiet conclusion to a long but largely overlooked career.
That's Italian. You can go pump or auto.
The 45 long slide with laser sighting.
These are brand new. We just got them in.
Carmine Caridi, who portrayed Angelo Martelli in Fame in 1982 at the age of 48, was known for playing a devoted father who tried to support his son, Bruno, in pursuing his musical dreams, even as he faced personal struggles. Caridi's real life, however, was far more complicated. Despite having a successful career in television and film, he often struggled with typecasting, which limited his opportunities. His personal life was fraught with tension, marked by a painful divorce that left him distanced from his children. As he grew older, Caridi faced mounting financial difficulties, which only added to his sense of isolation. In his later years, he was largely forgotten by the public, with his career in decline. Caridi passed away on May 28, 2019, at the age of 85, following complications from a fall. His death was a tragic reminder of the untold suffering behind the fame and success he once experienced, a life that ultimately ended in loneliness and regret.
Wait in the car, Cheech. Frankie. It's okay, Cheech.
Madlyn Rhue, who portrayed Mrs. Schwartz in Fame starting in 1982 at 47, brought grace and dedication to the role of a caring teacher who supported her students through their struggles. Rhue, however, faced a personal life full of hardship. She was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, which slowly deteriorated her health and limited her ability to work consistently. Her career, which had once been promising, was overshadowed by her illness. Rhue's personal life was similarly challenging, with 2 failed marriages and no children, leaving her to face much of her life in solitude. Despite these struggles, Rhue remained a respected figure in Hollywood, admired for her resilience. She passed away on December 16, 2003, at the age of 68 due to complications from pneumonia. Rhue's death was the culmination of years of quiet suffering, and her legacy is one of perseverance in the face of illness and personal challenges.
I think you've taken years off that sweet man's life, not to mention what you've done to mine.
Stop acting like my mother.
Oh, well, now you know how I feel all the time.
What are you doing to me, Doris?
Judy Farrell, who portrayed Mrs. Charlotte Miller on Fame starting in 1982 at the age of 44, was known for her nurturing, supportive role as a teacher. While she was beloved by students on screen, her real-life career was full of setbacks. Though she had steady work, her breakout moment never came, and she struggled to find significant roles after the show. Her personal life was equally turbulent. She endured a difficult marriage that ended in divorce, leaving her to raise 1 child alone. Judy faced emotional challenges as she dealt with the realities of being a single mother while coping with a sense of unfulfilled ambition. Sadly, she passed away on April 2, 2023, at the age of 84 from complications related to a stroke, leaving behind a legacy of kindness but a life marred by struggles that were often overshadowed by the fame she never fully realized.
And I'm slowly starting to realize that planning life is like trying to number soap bubbles.
Anthony Newley, who joined the Fame cast in 1984 at the age of 53 as Trevor Kane, was a man of undeniable charm and talent. However, his life mirrored the contradictions of his character. Though he had success early in his career, it was tainted by addiction and a series of failed marriages. His romantic life was filled with bitterness and betrayal as he struggled to maintain lasting relationships. His career, once shining with promise, was marred by poor decisions and the personal demons that haunted him. Newley's health began to decline in his later years, and despite his fame as a performer, he became a shadow of his former self. He died of kidney cancer on April 14, 1999, at the age of 67. His passing was the culmination of a tragic life filled with squandered opportunities, relationships shattered by his own hands, and health problems that ultimately ended his life far too soon.
All over, as you know, it's been a blur. But everywhere we've gone, people have been so lovely to us.
Did you think it was going to work again to revive something? It was
well, it's
25 years later.
Yeah, it's always a risk. I think the show is fairly classic. We changed some of the jokes because some of the people who were...
George Burns appeared as himself in Fame in 1983 when he was 87 years old, bringing his trademark humor and charm to the series. A true legend, George had an illustrious career spanning decades, winning numerous awards and remaining a fixture in Hollywood for much of his life. However, despite his success and fame, George's personal life was filled with sadness and loss. His wife, Gracie Allen, with whom he had built a successful partnership both on and off screen, passed away in 1964, leaving George devastated. The loss of Gracie was a blow he never fully recovered from, and he spent much of the remaining years of his life in solitude, deeply grieving her death. Although he maintained his career and appeared in various shows and films, George's personal happiness was forever overshadowed by the absence of his beloved wife. In his later years, George's health began to deteriorate, and on March 9, 1996, he died at the age of 100 from cardiac arrest.
Larger rooms. Smoke grab a 6-stage filter with activated charcoal. Remove smoke, dust, pollen, even bad jokes. Smoke enters here, clean air comes out.
Dominique Dunne, who portrayed Tracy in Fame in 1982 at the age of 22, was a promising young actress full of potential. Tracy, a character full of hope and ambition, reflected Dominique's own dreams of a flourishing career. However, Dominique's personal life was filled with tragedy and pain. She had been involved in an abusive relationship with her boyfriend, John Sweeney, a man with a volatile temper. The abuse escalated, culminating in a brutal attack in October 1982, when Sweeney strangled Dominique, leaving her in a coma for several days. Despite her fight for survival, Dominique tragically passed away on November 4, 1982, at the age of 22. Her death came far too soon, robbing the world of a talented young woman whose life was filled with promise. The brutality of her end left a profound mark on Hollywood, casting a dark shadow over what could have been a bright future in acting.
Love, know you're here. Who? Donnie Love. This is his corner. He controls it, and he'll be real mad if he finds out somebody...
Irene Cara, who made a guest appearance in Fame in 1984 at the age of 25, was an iconic figure in the entertainment industry. Her career soared when she recorded the theme song Fame, followed by the hit single Flashdance. What a Feeling, both of which became global anthems. Irene seemed destined for stardom, but the pressures of fame took a significant toll on her personal life and mental health. Her later years were marked by professional stagnation, with Irene struggling to find roles that matched her earlier success. Her relationships also suffered, as she experienced turmoil and unfulfilled love, never managing to find lasting happiness in her personal life. Irene was also financially troubled in the years leading up to her death, dealing with legal battles and the collapse of her once thriving career. Despite these hardships, she remained a beloved figure for her groundbreaking contributions to music and film. Irene passed away on November 25, 2022, at the age of 63.
No people.
There's a lot of money out there, like in summer trade, if we get ourselves together in time.
No, I'm really not interested.
There's tea dances and parties like on Long Island, weddings and bar mitzvahs. Those...
Art Carney, who portrayed Tim O'Banion in Fame in 1982 at the age of 64, brought his wealth of experience to the role of an older, wise character, guiding the younger generation with advice that reflected his own life struggles. Carney, however, had a career that was a mix of triumphs and setbacks. While he won acclaim and an Academy Award for his work in Harry and Tonto, his later roles were often underwhelming, and he struggled with being typecast. His personal life mirrored this disappointment. Carney's marriage ended in a bitter divorce, and his relationship with his children suffered as a result. These emotional burdens caused him to grapple with feelings of loneliness and regret in his later years. Despite a promising career, Carney's life was plagued by isolation, and he passed away on November 9, 2003, at 85 from natural causes, leaving behind a legacy tarnished by the personal sorrow he carried throughout his life.
kid, but I can remember that voice coming over the radio in World War II and all like that.
I guess I started doing Roosevelt when I was in high school, in the late 30s, when he first went into office.
You're probably a little older than I am.
Signe Hasso, who played Frida Grauer in Fame in 1982 at the age of 67, was a character who represented strength and resilience. Off-screen, Hasso's life was filled with profound personal challenges that reflected the complexity of her character. She endured the heartache of a difficult marriage and the devastating loss of her son, a tragedy that deeply affected her emotional well-being. Despite her professional success, Hasso was often overshadowed by these personal struggles, compounded further by her battle with cancer in her later years. She fought bravely, but the weight of illness and loss took its toll. Hasso's personal life remained defined by a deep sense of loss and hardship, which contrasted with her public persona as a strong, indomitable woman. She passed away on June 7, 2002, at the age of 86 from pneumonia and cancer, leaving behind a legacy of perseverance amid great personal sorrow.
So I sat there smoking a cigarette and just turned left, right. I said, thank you, that's it. And on that, I got my second career year started.
Double life.
That.
Arte Johnson, known for his role as Cliff Armbruster in Fame in 1983 at the age of 54, brought humor and quirkiness to his role as a coffee shop owner. In contrast, Johnson's personal life was marked by much sadness. Though he became a household name for his work on Laugh-In, his personal relationships, including his marriage, were far from stable, eventually ending in divorce. This period of instability left him grappling with isolation and increasing emotional distress. As Johnson grew older, his health began to decline, and he faced mounting struggles with heart problems and the isolation that came with them. Despite his success in front of the camera, his personal life was filled with unresolved issues that left him emotionally drained. Johnson passed away on July 3, 2019, at the age of 90, from heart failure, leaving behind a legacy of comedy that masked the deep pain he experienced in his later years.
Anymore, my dear, you see, it has become apparent to me that my unsought-for overtures have become repugnant to your sensitive nature.
Bruno Kirby, who portrayed Marty Schwartz on Fame, joined the series in 1982 at the age of 33. Marty, a passionate and exuberant aspiring dancer, represented the Dreamers with his unyielding spirit. However, Kirby's personal and professional life told a more tragic story. Although he brought energy and charm to the role, his career never truly soared. Frequently cast in secondary parts, he struggled to break into leading roles, which contributed to a sense of frustration. Kirby's personal life mirrored his professional struggles, with failed relationships and periods of isolation. His biggest battle came when he was diagnosed with leukemia in 2005, which rapidly took its toll. Despite fighting bravely, Kirby passed away on August 14, 2006, at the age of 57, leaving behind a legacy of unfulfilled potential and a sense of sadness for a life cut short too soon.
No, I was calling my dog. Kirby, come over.
No, you serious?
She calls his dog over, and she says, Kirby, meet Kirby the actor.
Ray Walston, who portrayed the warm-hearted Bertie Whalen in Fame, was 68 when he joined the show in 1982. Bertie was a nurturing figure to the students, offering them wisdom and encouragement, a role that reflected Walston's own gentle nature. However, despite decades of acting experience, Walston's career was marred by typecasting, preventing him from reaching the prominence he deserved. His personal life was no less complicated, his marriage was strained, and he often found himself emotionally distant from his family. These personal and professional setbacks took a toll on Walston, leaving him with a sense of disappointment in his later years. After battling health issues, Walston passed away from natural causes on January 1, 2001, at the age of 86, his life marked by both significant achievements and quiet, personal struggles that remained largely unseen by the public.
Cubans were in a constant state of revolt. In 1904, the United States decided to throw a little weight around and
John Karlen, who played Detective Kessler on Fame, joined the cast in 1982 at the age of 49. Kessler was a persistent, no-nonsense character, but Karlen's own life was often marked by frustration and disappointment. Despite a long career in television and film, Karlen never achieved the stardom that many of his peers did. His career, though steady, never reached the heights he had hoped for, and his personal life was equally difficult. Karlen went through several failed marriages, often struggling with loneliness and emotional turmoil. His later years were marred by health issues, and his once vibrant career slowed to a quiet end. Karlen passed away on January 22, 2020, at the age of 86 due to heart failure. Although he left a lasting impact on the industry, his personal life and career were marked by a series of quiet, unspoken struggles, making his death all the more poignant.
Eddie, thank you, Tyne Daly, for the best playing house in the world. Bonnie Rosenzweig, I love you. Barbara Corday for creating me.
Michael Thoma, who played Mr. Crandall in Fame in 1982 at the age of 56, was a dedicated and encouraging drama teacher who inspired his students to pursue their creative passions. However, Thoma's own life was marked by unfulfilled potential and personal tragedy. While his career was steady, he never gained the recognition he hoped for, often relegated to smaller roles that didn't allow him to shine. In his later years, Thoma faced a devastating battle with cancer, which weakened him physically and emotionally. Despite his ongoing health struggles, he continued to work, refusing to let his illness define him. Tragically, Thoma passed away on September 3, 1982, at the age of 55, just months after beginning his role in Fame. His death was an abrupt and heartbreaking loss for both his fans and his colleagues, leaving behind a sense of what could have been had his career not been cut short by his illness. Ted Sorel, who played Mr. Chapman on Fame from 1985 at 49, was a seasoned actor known for his commanding presence and strict demeanor. However, behind his on-screen role as a tough but fair teacher, Sorel's life was marked by significant personal battles. His career had moments of success, but his personal life was often marked by failure and disappointment. Sorel struggled with several failed marriages and the challenges of fatherhood, facing isolation in his later years. He also grappled with a series of health issues, including the painful effects of Lyme disease, which worsened over time. In his final years, Sorel lived with the regret of relationships that could not be repaired and the toll of his physical ailments. He passed away on November 30, 2010, at the age of 74 from complications of Lyme disease, marking the end of a career and life that had been overshadowed by personal and physical struggles. Marge Champion, who played the graceful and Carlton in Fame in 1982 at the age of 63, portrayed a sophisticated character who was the epitome of elegance. However, in real life, Champion faced her own challenges that were far from glamorous. Her marriage to Gower Champion, her first husband, ended in a painful divorce that affected her deeply. Though she went on to remarry, the scars of her failed relationship lingered, and she often spoke of a sense of unfulfilled emotional needs. Professionally, while she enjoyed success as a dancer and choreographer, her later years were marked by a deep sadness, compounded by the loss of loved ones. Champion's life was characterized by the delicate balance between her public grace and the private emotional battles she fought. She passed away on October 21, 2020, at the age of 101, leaving behind a legacy of beauty and talent, yet overshadowed by personal heartache that marked much of her journey. Gwen Verdon, known for her portrayal of Melinda McNeil on Fame, was 57 when she joined the show in 1982. A renowned dancer and actress, Verdon's career was filled with critical acclaim, but her personal life was fraught with heartache. Her marriage to legendary choreographer Bob Fosse was marked by both brilliance and pain, as Fosse's infidelities and emotional distance created a tumultuous home life. Despite their professional successes, Verdon's marriage ended in divorce, and she was left to contend with the emotional fallout. Tragically, the loss of their child only deepened her sorrow. Though she remained a fixture in the entertainment world, Verdon's personal life was filled with grief. She passed away from a heart attack on October 18, 2000, at the age of 75. Her legacy in dance and theater was undeniable, but the pain she endured offstage was a somber undertone to an otherwise glittering career. Who is your favorite character in Fame? How do you feel knowing that the actors have passed away? Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss future videos. Thank you so much.